Hey, what's up everybody? BDO44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so as I said in my last video, there were some things virally that I was paying attention to that I really wanted to chime in on. It was a thing where 50 Cent had brought a some type of comedy slash rap entertainment festival type thing down to Shreveport, Louisiana. And from what I understand, he's trying to like buy a property down there. He looks to kind of do to Shreveport what Tyler Perry has done in Atlanta, buy up land and build studios and all different types of stuff, man. He's really taken a liking to Shreveport. From what I understand, I guess property down there is significantly cheaper right now, and it's like a really good investment for him to buy a property down there and try to build that place up. Is an entertainment space, you know what I mean? And so he's coming down there and kind of did a one type of concert that was for comedy and things like that what you had to pay for. And I guess from what I understand, some of the biggest artists down there, rappers down there, he wasn't necessarily given opportunities to for that pay concert. But then he threw a free concert for the community, and a lot of those guys were given opportunities. So they were very thankful for the free promo, and it didn't seem like it was a whole lot of dislike coming out of that situation. However, there's one guy, Hurricane Chris, who was the naysayer in the situation, man. He was essentially saying 50 Cent and gave all this money to the police. He didn't put on no local artists. He's coming down there to exploit the city because property is cheaper down there, and that's what his point of view was. And he really went on a nice hateful rant. I'm just gonna be honest, it looked real hateful, going in on 50 Cent for not giving opportunities to Louisiana legends, which was inaccurate because it was a lot of local guys and legends. Some of the top guys from Louisiana right now were down there performing and in the crowd, getting free promo and supporting the situation. So it was kind of like he didn't show up himself, wasn't invited himself, and then applied that to the idea that everybody else wasn't given opportunities. Give me a second. So as you would have it, 50 in 50 Cent ways trolled the man, essentially saying, yo, music don't get no play in my car. I ain't, you know what I mean, Hurricane Chris, I'm not playing you in my whip. That's essentially what 50 was saying. And then he put some excerpt from Juice, the movie Juice, where one of the characters was trying to get booked for a venue or something, and Queen Latifah, the character, was essentially telling him, hey, he had to get his game up in regards to performing and stuff like that before actually getting booked for that type of thing. So it was funny because 50 Cent turned up the speed on the voice so that the voice would be high pitched, and Hurricane Chris kind of speaks in a higher pitched voice. So I thought that was kind of funny, just like 50 Cent to do something like that. You know, 50 was given, from what I understand, the key to the city of Shreveport. You know, a lot of the artists and the people down there are really pleased with 50. Some of the local individuals that have platforms, I was listening to their take on it, and they all pretty much unanimously appreciate 50 for coming down there, because they do understand that he can shine a light on their city and put them on the map and do for them like many have done when they come from out of town and shine a light on a smaller market. It puts opportunities for entrepreneurs to have promotion and people visiting, and all you got to do is shine your situation up real nicely, and you can make your own money piggybacking off of the interest shown to your city when a guy like that shows up. Sort of like what was being discussed when LeBron James played for Cleveland. Local businesses of many kinds would have more business opportunities and more revenue coming in off of the strength of just the flow of traffic that was coming in because LeBron James played for the team. So it's like, I think a good portion of the people who were discussing this truly understood that. Not to mention that one of the things that Hurricane Chris complained about was 50 taking advantage of property value being cheap. That property value doesn't remain cheap if 50 Cent shines a bright enough light on your city. It raises the property value for those who already own it. So if anything, if you got a little money in Shreveport, it might be a good time to start buying up that property before the property value triples, quadruples, and even further into the sky if 50 turns this thing into what he wants to turn it into. Shreveport is officially going to be on the map. And the sky's the limit from there, especially if everybody around there is thinking like businessmen and women. So a lot of what Hurricane Chris was complaining about in his rant was debunked by others who were discussing it, who were more informed than I would ever be in regards to Shreveport, Louisiana. But they were essentially debunking a lot of what he was complaining about. Local artists did get opportunities to perform. He, you know, 50 Cent wasn't leaving the neighborhood out. Him hiring the police and putting money into the police force, from what I understand, there were no violent crimes during that weekend. You got more traffic and more people with money coming in than probably ever before. And that would be the weekend that there's no violent crimes. That's a rare thing, because the wolves are going to come out when they know the money's in town. But for whatever reason, everybody was on their best behavior when 50 was in town, and a lot of the people that commentated that were essentially saying that was a big part of that was because of 50 investing in the police force for that weekend, or what have you, investing in them and putting some money in their pockets. They upped the beef, you know, around there, and made sure that people, not the beef, but up the manpower around there to make sure that people were having a good time and were safe. So, and from what I understand, one of the commentators I listened to said that the police were rather nice and rather lenient on weed smoke, which is not legal out there. But from what I understand, they were turning the other way when people were trying to smoke weed at the venue. So it's like, maybe that's what 50 Cent was investing in. It was in their compliance to kind of look the other way while people were recreationally enjoying themselves in that way. So if anything, it helped the neighborhood because it made for a more happy environment for people who enjoy what they enjoy. So it's like, when you consider all of what 50 Cent has been doing in Shreveport, and you also consider that he has, from what's been reported, strong ties down there, and it's sort of been stamped by the city out there. Some of the individuals in neighborhoods or what have you, they stamp him, they say he's solid. His first tour, from what I understand, was fully paid for by Master P. So this is him like giving back to the state of Louisiana for, you know, helping him get his first real tour bag. It's like, I don't see how he's exploiting the area. Is it cheaper land to buy and purchase? Absolutely. Is that a good investment for a big guy like 50? Obviously that. You know, he's trying to emulate Tyler Perry. He's trying to get his own thing going, and judging by the success of what he's been able to put together on Stars and all the platform has been utilized to do, and some of the stuff that he's done on TV programming, one would think that he's already proven that he can make money for himself. And if he's going to put that in a certain city, that city is going to overall have more opportunities to make money themselves. So I think Hurricane Chris was just showing a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of jealousy, to be honest with you. You know, on his surface, if you turn on Hurricane Chris, from where I'm from, that dude is hate. It ain't deeper than that. He just turned on the camera and showed pure and utter hatred. That's what it looked like on his surface. Now, could he have had some points? Yeah, it was possible he had some points, until I found that those who were more in the know than myself were able to debunk most of those points. But I would listen to a guy whom I think is hating if he's making points about how a certain person is coming in and not giving opportunities to people in neighborhoods and stuff like that. But I'd also listen to the people who say that a guy like 50 Cent don't owe anybody in Shreveport anything. He's coming there bringing opportunities to you. What are you doing for him? You know what I mean? Maybe nothing. So anything that he does with his money in your town, that's his prerogative, and it ain't like you doing a whole lot. Try to you know, make an incentive for him to feel obligated to invest in you. A guy like Hurricane Chris, who may not have had a hit song in a long time, you know what I mean? Hey Baby ain't been in regular rotation in a while, so for him to have so much to say about a man who's coming in to shine a light on his city and making claims and allegations that people aren't getting opportunities that actually were, people who have a lot to say in regards to positive things about 50, it looked kind of crazy, to be honest with you. It looked kind of crazy from where I'm sitting, and I thought it was worth the conversation because this is a mistake that a lot of people make, man. When you have a small town and a big dog from a big city comes in with a lot of money and a lot of fame, and he's looking to make money in your city, if he's doing it illegally and he's not trying to step on any toes in that way, it's not for anybody who's not doing a lot but from that city to say, yo, that person don't got no business being here. What ends up happening, which what we're seeing, is that person's gonna find out he has more people in his own town that are gonna have a response to that, because you're not really hating on the guy from out of town. When you do that, you're hating on the people right next to you who are going to benefit from his presence. If he picks up and leaves Shreveport, y'all ain't never heard from again, and you go right back to the space you were in, if not worse, because now you are a place that kicks out big money. So it's going to be even less value in your city, because you're less likely to have somebody come in and invest in your city. At least before 50 came there, you weren't known as the people who would kick 50 out. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, smart businessmen, the last thing they're going to do is being seen publicly bashing the guy from out of town coming in with the big bag and the big platform. That's not the move. He's coming in to make sure that opportunities are there. Now, he may not be giving you opportunities with his platform, but his sheer presence is going to provide opportunities for you to make your platform bigger if you already have one. So if he bounces mom and pop shop and everybody else, they're not getting the same opportunities. While you're sitting there waiting for him to give you a direct handout, all you got to do is stand near where he's at and he gonna lift you up. It's the opposite of like when a ship is sinking. If you're near a sinking ship, you're gonna go down with it. That gravity pull is gonna bring you down. And same thing goes with this type of situation, the opposite direction. If you're standing next to it, all you got to do is just stand next to it, and it's going to lift you up. You're going to get some of the people visiting you who are there for him, just off of the strength of the understanding that people move around. After I finish leaving the concert, I got to walk and eat somewhere. I want to sit down. I want to go drink somewhere. I'm going to need somewhere to lay my head. Some people are going to get sick. They're going to end up in the hospital. And that will provide different opportunities for the healthcare system around. It's so many different businesses are going to make money off of the strength of the people that he's going to garner to your city. So why in the hell are you going to look at that man and say, you're not directly putting money in my pocket from within your pocket, and so therefore you need to get the hell out of here? That person's putting money in your pocket just by standing next to you. He ain't got to reach in his pocket and give you $1. You just got to have something to sell. And everybody who's coming to buy something from him is going to see you as well. It's just like, yo, Hurricane, don't be the guy that chases the big money out of your small city, bro. You're going to have more enemies in your city than you've ever had in your life, because you're taking money out of everybody's pocket. The freaking mayor wants 50 around. The cops want 50 around. The hood want 50 around. The grandmama want 50 around. Homeboy down the street who sells gas want 50 around, because he's going to bring clientele to all of them, even if he don't say a word to any of them. All he has to do is stand there, and the people come to him and trickle out from him and land there. So, like, you got to be real. Like, there has to be a disconnected understanding there, man. And for me, as a person of color, I don't like what Hurricane Chris did. There's a certain selfishness that came with that, to say because I didn't get opportunities and because I can't perceive how them opportunities are coming, not only am I going to show my vitriol for the fact that this person didn't give me my opportunities, but I'm going to sour the well and tell the world that this person didn't do for others of whom he actually did for. Because I'm not in a space where I understand what he can do for us. Because I don't care about nothing but my own self, but I'm going to pretend like I care about everybody else. In the sense that I'm going to tell everybody else that you shouldn't welcome this person because they ain't doing nothing for you. Luckily enough, everybody else is smart enough to know that the last person they need to be listening to is you. That's what I was encouraged by. The local people who were talking about this were getting on this man for exactly what it is I just described. He gonna chase the big whale out of town. Gonna make a guy like 50 Cent feel like, man, I can get money somewhere else. There's another place I can invest in that's cheap, that'll do the same thing that Shreveport do. And I don't have to deal with these haters out here. Luckily enough, it ain't too many people speaking out in no hate. They understand what this man can do for the city. They understand what he can do for mom and pop shop. They understand what he can do for the property value. They understand what he can do for everything. If it work out, the school system may get some money. You understand what I'm saying? If he actually builds the place up, it can really work out for that city. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when the property value raises, including gentrification, which is something we all hate in our community. But at the end of the day, they're a long way away from that. There's a lot of money to make between now and that type of success, so to speak. So it's like, while it's on the ground up, while it's still on the bottom where property value still hasn't really increased yet because what he's doing isn't taking off. Well, you look at where he's put his foot down in other areas and seeing his success, it's easy money, man. It's like when the Olympics come to town and you know it's coming. Like we know LA is going to get the Olympics 4 years from now. LA is going to make money regardless. But there are a lot of mom and pop shops, businesses, hotels that are now going to be investing in the upkeep and adding to what it is they do. Businesses are starting to have like a 3-year plan. Guys are starting to dream about how they can have their business in place by the time that time comes around. This is what it's about, because you know the Olympics are going to bring people. You won't need to be affiliated with the Olympics to be able to make lots of money. All you got to do is have your business running in Los Angeles, and people are going to be there more so than ever because of the presence of the Olympics. So it's like, man, a guy like Hurricane Chris, if he's not in a space where he understands that, he can certainly ruin it. He can certainly ruin it. And I'm telling you, man, you ruin something like that, there's going to be some people that want you off the earth. I'm just going to be honest with you. Little known town like Shreveport, Louisiana, they got an opportunity to make a couple $2 billion off of this. As a city, $2 billion. Not off of just what 50 doing, but what it is I just described. We're talking about $2 billion. They ain't gonna let no Hurricane Chris do nothing like, man. They gonna get you out of here, bro. I'm just being honest. And with his reputation, from what I understand, he's done when he was on top, when he was making noise in hip hop, for whatever reasons, maybe good or bad, he wasn't doing for the city. He made his money and put it in his pocket, from what is being told to me. So you, the last person you want to hear telling somebody they need to leave because they're not doing enough for the city, when you from the city and they feel like you ain't done anything yourself. Everything that he said that 50 ain't doing, he ain't did. When he had an opportunity to do more. So it's like, man, y'all just come off as somebody hating, bro. An ill-informed, ignorant individual who wasn't aware that the people around him and the people he was talking to had much more informed context as to why his point of view was trash. That's what he came off as. And I'm not mad at anybody. You know, I'm not mad at Hurricane Chris. For all I know, Hurricane Chris knows more about the situation than what I've been told. And maybe there's some things that haven't been said that would make his point make more sense. But from where I'm sitting, he just come off as a hater. Not a very informed one, man. And that's a dangerous thing when you're talking about pushing away people who can bring billions of dollars to your city. That ain't smart. You talk about a guy who's given opportunities to not only your community, but to every community in the neighborhood. That's not smart. There's things bigger than hip hop. There's things bigger than your community. Sharif Point got a lot of different people there who gonna make money off of this. The last thing you want is for your community and your culture to be the reason why the whole city ain't gonna get big money opportunities. Once in a lifetime big money opportunity. Guy like 50 Cent sees something in your city and wants to come through there and build big. And the best thing you can say is, you ain't did for me. This is much bigger than you. BDL 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.